Yo, 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 yo. Thank you for tuning in to the Skull State of Mind podcast. We are live on one of my mini drafts this year. So peep it. I got my boy Mike C. And I'm gonna hit the intro and I'm gonna bring him in.
We in our skull state of mind. We analyze how you play the line. Purple and yellow, we on the grind. D was the host and he's taking time. With expert opinions, we moving dominion. If passion is in you, then let's go continue. Make on it just like a stadium venue. The topics we serving them just like a menu. We in our prime, high stepping. You feel the seat like it's cold peppers. Harder like Carter, but keep it smiling. Like this was the catch number 1,000. The show you gon' love it. You better tell your mama, cousin. The internet's talking and buzzing. So pull up a chair and just grab a drink. About the Vikings, tell us what you think. Cause we in our skull state of mind. We analyze how you play the line. Everything purple and yellow, let's take it up a level. Start the show, yeah, it's time.
What's up, Mike? How's it going, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Ready to get this fantasy draft going. I actually have the 10th pick, which is kind of good, kind of bad. Like I gotta basically wait, but at least I'm gonna, get my second pick pretty fast. Like, yeah, that's cool. I'll share the screen with the draft once it starts. It starts in about 8 minutes. But man, I wish we would have had that conversation we was having earlier for this little 10-minute gap. But we can get back to it. So realistic expectations, since it's fantasy wise, realistic expectations for fantasy, football players like on the Vikings outside of Justin Jefferson.
Man, aside from like Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson, it's not great. To put it mildly. Like I said, I have my reservations for Sam Darnold. I worry about how his production will affect the team on a fantasy point of view, for sure. I mean, like JJ, I know he always talks about 2K. Let's try to get JJ to 1,000 yards this year, because one game at a time with Sam Darnold. One game at a time.
Healthy. You know what?
Yes,
I think
that's far more important.
Yeah, I want everybody to finish the season healthy. I don't want any nagging injuries going into next year. Like it's like I said before, this year is the development year. But in my opinion, but fantasy wise, I say the kicker's probably going to do it this year in fantasy. Like I remember back in the day, like I drafted Blair Walsh his rookie season as a kicker, and man, he killed it for me. I mean, I wish we would have had that Blair Walsh going forward the rest of his career. But I gotta say the kicker, man, because the defense, I'm not too high, I'm not too low on defense. I want to see what the first, couple of games look like for this defense, because I know our corners are suspect, and I'm not really big on these small linebackers. So I'm not gonna say defense. Jordan Addison, I don't think he's gonna be great fantasy this year, considering he's already hurt and he still might get suspended. So, yeah, yeah, that's my Vikings fantasy outlook. So if anybody's seeing this right now, Justin Jefferson and the kicker will be the people you should draft on the Vikings this year. Yeah, and I'm being honest. Yeah,
it's true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah. Do you play fantasy football a lot?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
good amount. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've been playing for a while, man. I remember I started playing, man, way I would say over 10 plus years ago. We used to have this site called Fanball we used to play on back in the day before ESPN and everybody else got big, but that's no longer exists anymore. But yeah, 5 more minutes waiting for the draft right now. They say
just like Blair Walsh. Oh.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, just like Blair Walsh's career, it faded fast.
Man, that guy was like his first couple of seasons. He was so good as a kicker. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, it seems like after the Seattle playoff game, I think he just wasn't the same player anymore. Like, I was even like, I'm gonna get a Blair Walsh jersey, because 3 is my favorite number. So I was like, I'm gonna get a Blair Walsh jersey. And it was like after the Seattle game, I was like, man, I can't do this. Typical Viking kickers, man. Meltdown when it counts the most. Yeah,
It's true.
do
Yeah,
you use
I mean,
any like little? Go ahead, Mike.
no, I was just gonna say it's crazy. Like after that rookie season, I remember we all thought we had an elite kicker. I think he was perfect that year. His rookie season for
Yeah,
50 yards, and
right.
then every year slowly regression. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Was it Mike Zimmer?
Maybe. Hey. Honestly, it's got to be talked about and thought about because look at Daniel Carlson. I mean, look
Yeah.
what he's done in Las Vegas.
You know, one thing I always like think about concerning like Blair Walsh, like I blame him for ruining Teddy Bridgewater's career. Because I think about it like this: if he makes that kick in Seattle, Vikings actually go to the second round and they play a little bit longer in that season. And the next season, Teddy probably doesn't tear his knee in practice because they're probably going to, doing something a little bit different because they went deeper in the playoffs. Like you never know, like that chain reaction butterfly effect. But I just like, man, you ride Teddy Bridgewater of a playoff win, man. Come on now. Like when I saw him go down the field, I'm like, he's our guy. Like, Teddy Two Gloves or whatever. He went down the field, got him in field goal range. I'm sitting there looking like, we got this. Seattle, who? Like that was like the height of the Legion of Boom. Russell Wilson was actually a great player. This guy missed the kick. You owe us, Blair Walsh. You do.
Go start. Maybe he's got to get some of the Vikings regime or some of the players some good deals at real estate because I know that's where he headed to afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I've heard Viking fans. Yeah, they found that, which I found hilarious. Was it? I think it was this off season or last off season they found out. Like how Viking fans find out about these random things. It blew up on social media that one random day. He's a real estate
think
agent.
it's actually on his Instagram account where he's like a real estate agent now or whatever. Like
I guess he didn't make enough money or do a good enough job keeping the money because I don't understand how you need to be selling houses after making millions of dollars. But
millions of dollars as a kick, like, and he got a second contract with the Vikings too.
Yes, I think he was the highest. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was the highest paid kicker on that contract when they initially gave it to him. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Rick Spielman was in the building. He gives everybody second contracts. If Rick drafted you, you got a second contract. Like,
yeah, it's so true. If you were a solid player, you really did get a second contract.
Rick was like, you get a contract, you get a contract, you get a contract. Like, come on, Rick. Like, we ain't gonna have no money. And that's exactly what happened. While we have to pay guys to not play for us now because all the Rick Spielman money he gave around. So
the exact polar opposite of Quessy, where he's like cut so many players already throughout his draft tenure. And Rick this year, like Caleb Evans and Brian Asamoah, I'm not so sure if they make this team.
Speaking of Asamoah, right? Like, when I was watching the last preseason game, I was like complaining. I'm like, why is he playing safety? And I'm looking like he doesn't have the NFL body for a linebacker. He's too small. He's too small. He's too slender. Like, I think he's going to be good on special teams, and that's about it. But Asamoah, like, come on, I don't like calling guys bust, but I just feel like I don't think he makes the roster this year. I really don't. I don't. I think that guy, the guy that came from Ohio State and he went to another school, I think it's McCain, something like that. I think he's probably going to go over Asamoah because he's younger or whatever, but he just doesn't have the body type. Asamoah. I thought he was going to be good. Oh my God. I should have known he wasn't going to be good when he got number 33. Like, you're a linebacker. What are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? So we got 38 seconds for the draft to start right now. Is anybody in the comments? Because I haven't. No comments. Okay. All right. Let's see. Draft about to start. Yeah, everybody seems like everybody on the draft is all signed in right now. One of my biggest pet peeves about the draft is like if you have like the number 1, 2, or 3 pick, you already know who you're taking. Don't waste the time. Just go ahead and take the guy. He's there. Take the guy you've been looking for. So let me share this real quick. All right. There we go, Mike. So looks like who's the first guy off the board? Let me pick the picks right there. Oh, Christian McCaffrey. I wouldn't do that this year. Tell you the truth, like I wouldn't do that. Like I don't think he's going to play a lot this season. He's already hurt. So,
I mean, he's a superstar player. It really is just all, can he stay healthy? Which he has. I will give the Niners credit. They've kept him healthy throughout his tenure so far. So hopefully for him, he can stay healthy again.
hopefully. Dang.
Yeah.
CD Lamb went number 2.
Yeah, people are high on CeeDee Lamb. I don't see it either, personally. I would
Me
not,
neither.
but that's just me. Not number 2. I would not take him number 2 overall.
Nah, CD.
Is this
and
P-
this
is
guy
this,
right here that's Pocket Jack,
just gonna-
he's actually been in this league 3 times.
Okay. Just wondering, is this a PPR league?
Yes, PPR.
Okay.
Yeah, PPR. Okay, he took Brees Hall. Okay, Bijan Robinson came up next. Okay.
Are you hoping for JJ to fall to you if you had your ideal scenario with who's currently on the board? Or JJ already come off?
I think they know. They know not to draft JJ because he's going to be on my team anywhere it goes. Like they might as well just let me draft him. Because if not, like I'm gonna send the message saying like, hey, you got to trade for my guy. Like that's my guy.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of years, my team name was Can You Dig It? But like the past couple of seasons, I changed it to Just in a Nick of Time. So they know. They don't have to take JJ.
Fair enough.
But that's kind of early for Tariq Hill too.
Well, I would take him over CeeDee Lamb personally if he could stay healthy. But that's just me. Because Tua, he force feeds Hill the ball like crazy. So, you know what? Speaking of we can't talk about the Dolphins and not mention this. At least since we're on. Probably know where I'm going with this. That's why I said Tua. What's your thoughts on Tua throwing Flores under the bus? What do you think of that?
I thought it was a sucker move. Like, I just feel like Brian Flores has been gone from that situation like 3 years now. Like, whatever has happened, right? Like, you don't have to go on these podcasts and just throw them under the bus, knowing like all of the other stuff that's going on with the lawsuit and stuff like that. Like, I understand like him and Tua might have gripes, but like, come on, Tua, you're not that great. Like, I'm just like being completely honest. Like, yeah, McDaniel came down there and gave that offense, some fire or whatever, but you got to prove it. You guys went to the playoffs and got the shit kicked in you guys. Like, prove it. Like, it was just dumb. How did you feel about it?
I thought it was very cowardly. I thought very similar to the way you do. It was so unnecessary. Go about that a different way. Just go take the high road and say, look, that time was done. It was what it was. We got Mike McDaniel now as head coach, and I'm happier now than I was back then. You could have went about it so much easier. I thought it was a very cowardly way for him to handle the situation, just in general. And throwing a guy under the bus for no reason.
For no reason. Basically for no reason. So my guy got drafted right ahead of me. They did it to me. All right, so let's see where I'm going to go. You know what? I hate to do it as a Viking fan, but I gotta go with a guy that got the highest value, in my opinion, right now. I'm a Ross St. Brown.
That's the right pick?
Yeah.
That's the right pick. Talking about PPR, I mean, the guy, he gets so many receptions, and he's such a consistent player game in, game out. He's why the Lions are the... Oh, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll stop. No, I was just going to say, he's the reason why the Lions are the contender that they are, because he's so dynamic and he's consistent every game pretty much.
Yeah. So I got to change my team name to something different now. Because I don't have Jefferson. It's cool, though. As long as Amon-Ra doesn't have... What did he have last year? That hand, foot, and mouth disease? but he still played.
He was playing through injury. Yeah, he was playing through injury last year. Up and down.
He's a California guy, so yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
If you're taking former USC Trojans, Sam Darnold in the last round.
Nah, he won't be drafted.
I'm kidding.
I mean, if I want to take a former USC Trojan as a quarterback, I'll probably pick up Caleb Williams. That's about it.
Yeah, that'd be a lot more upside.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, I'm not going Darnold.
No, I was just joking. I was just pulling your thing.
No. He might not even get drafted.
No, he shouldn't be drafted. He should be, even in a 12-team league, folks. He should go undrafted. Even if there's 2 quarterbacks on every team, yes, Sam Darnold should not be one of the 24 quarterbacks in a 12-team league. He's that bad. He's that bad. Yeah, oh God. Where do you usually like to target your quarterbacks, though?
Huh?
Where do you like to usually target your quarterbacks? Like 3rd, 4th, 5th round?
It depends on how I'm picking. Mm-hmm. Considering where I'm at right now, like I got 2 more picks up. I like to kind of like force everyone's hand and pick something wild early, because a lot of, like, just like you're thinking, is some people are going to start picking the quarterbacks maybe 3rd, 4th round. I'm going to just take the top quarterback now. And then once I take the top quarterback now, you'll see other guys and be like, oh, they'll start panicking and start taking quarterbacks. So then the rest of the position group start to drop. So that's
so you like to start the chain effect, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to start it. And then I always get text messages from guys like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, you better get your quarterback. I mean, right now it's like every quarterback's going to be available unless this guy picks a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of like stuck, because it's like, Lamar Jackson's my guy, but the best quarterback in the league is Pat Mahomes. So I'm like, what do I do? But Puka Nacua is right there too, though. Mm-hmm. That might be something I might do. Yeah. Let me take my minute that I got and think about it. Let me see what they said Josh Allen is the highest rated quarterback.
It's just his running ability.
Yeah. You know what? I am going to go Puka Nacua. At least I have 2 starting wide receivers. So when I come back, I don't have any running back right now either. Mm-hmm. So, but in this league, it's different though, because in this league, you get 1 point for every 5 yards. So there's no need to like try to have the highest rated running back, in my opinion, considering the league is a passing league. Like, I try to load up on receivers too.
Yeah. So 5 yards for reception, like receiving yards, rushing yards, and passing, or just receiving?
Just rushing. So the running back just gets 1 point for every 5 yards. It's normally like 1 point for every 10.
Yes.
So like, I remember one year I went to the finals because I had a Garrett Blunt, and the guy was only getting like 70 yards a game, but the way the points are, I was just like, it worked. It worked.
Hey, the former running back showing love to the position. I love
it. Yeah. Kyrie Williams is did Jamar Gibbs get?
No, yeah, I don't see him on what I'm looking at, but
no, I don't think so. He's still out there. Maybe because they feel like it's gonna be that split backfield still.
He took the job though by the end of the season from Montgomery.
Yeah,
pretty well. He did.
There's Josh Allen.
Yep.
There's Josh Allen. This is one guy I'm gonna stay, like, people should stay away from, Devontae Adams. Like, yeah.
I
I don't.
understand that point of view. I get it. I understand wanting to be worried about Gardner Minshew. I get that point of view, but he
Yeah,
probably will force feed him the ball.
he will.
Depends on what it depends on what your. I mean, with your draft with Puka and Amon Ra, obviously that's a completely different scenario. But for someone who might need a receiver, I could see them, taking the risk and hoping he has a
Yeah,
bounce back. He might get traded midseason. Who knows with the way the Raiders are? We'll see.
shit show to me.
It
My dad's
very
a big
well could
Raiders
be.
fan. I'm just like, he's all, yeah, we got it. I'm like, Dad, you say that every year, like, because I'm not high on Antonio Pierce as a coach. I'm not.
Really?
I'm not high on that man. This is why I'm not high on him. Like, I think he can be a good coach years from now, but I just don't like it when guys get the job when they're not necessarily 100% ready yet, because then it's harder for them to get the next job. Like,
Mm.
that's just how I look at it. Like, I know basketball is a different thing, but like Derek Fisher became the head coach for New York, Knicks back in the day. And after that, he's never had another coaching job in the NBA. I feel like if Antonio Pierce would have just stayed a great defensive coordinator, then he can be in the position like D'Amico Ryans, where he's touted a lot to come to a job. And then he can be able to make his mistakes and stay on that job a little bit longer. But I just think it's a little premature.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting way to look at it. I will say, I thought he did a really good job last year with what they had to work with. I mean, Aino
Yeah.
Kano. I don't know how on earth they beat the Chiefs with Aino Kano at quarterback. I remember watching that game. I think it was on Christmas Day. My God, the guy could not throw a 5-yard pass consistently. I think he finished the game with like 98 or 100 something yards, and they
Yeah.
beat the Chiefs.
Terrible.
Crazy, crazy.
And you know what? One thing about that game, I get people telling me all the time, our defense is so good. We shut the Raiders down. I'm like, dog, it's the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like, it's the Raiders, man. Like, it's the Raiders.
Yeah, when was the last time their offense has been legitimately relevant? I mean, like you can have a debate and a conversation that it might go all the way back to Rich Gannon when they were in the Super Bowl. The last time they were a legitimate offense.
Yeah, you're right. You're
When
right.
Jerry Rice was still in the league. Like, that's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. Well, they had some good seasons with Derek Carr, Michael Crabtree,
Yes.
and those guys. But then they made the stupid mistake of getting rid of Jack Del Rio, and they haven't been anything since they fired Jack Del Rio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't understand that, Mike. Like, I understand coaches, like, it's a performance type league, but if you got a guy that's kind of like, he has a locker room, you're not going to win every year. So if you're building something, like if you look at the Raiders, the whole team is dismantled since then. Khalil Mack gone, Derek Carr went in the tank. Michael Crabtree basically retired. They traded what's the other receiver name? Amari Cooper away. Like, yeah. Sometimes you gotta stay with your guy. If it's just a losing season, it's just a losing season.
Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned the Jack Del Rio firing, it kind of gives me vibes on obviously of a far worse nature with Doug Peterson. And a lot of people were initially happy with the hiring of Nick Sirianni. They go to the Super Bowl, but like, man, I think they did Doug Peterson dirty in
They did
Philadelphia.
Doug dirty.
I still think so because
the same way.
I mean, look at Sirianni now. The people were legitimately calling for his job at the end of last season. If they don't significantly rebound from that embarrassment season, and like as much as I think the Eagles are a good team, I don't think enough people are taking into account how big of a loss Jason Kelsey is. Like that's going to matter when it comes to pass protection, run blocking. Like I wonder how effective the tush push is without Jason Kelsey. And I know that sounds cringe to say, but that was a massive part of why they got to Super Bowl because they extended so many drives, pushing 4th and 1s, 4th and a yard and a half for first downs, and they extended the drive, and it makes a significant difference. If those plays are impacted, like that matters.
and just not just with the play on the field, keeping that locker room together, like the the kind of personality he has of of getting players to just buy in because he's one of the guys, or was one of the guys that had been there through different regimes. Like he was drafted by Andy Reid.
Yep.
And he was still there. So it's like I'm gonna be surprised how they go. I really think the book is out on Jalen Hurts. Like they got tape on him. Like they're gonna have to figure something out to get him back going. But yeah, Nick Sirianni probably will be fired midseason if he doesn't come out smoking. He's gonna be fired tomorrow after he loses the preseason game.
That would be the most Vikings thing ever. They go 3-0 in preseason in the year where where we're expecting them to be picking in the top 10. That's hilarious. Not that the preseason is the end all be all, but it was the running joke for so many years. Oh, preseason doesn't matter, and then we're gonna go 3-0 in a year. Yeah. Vintage Vikings, they always find a way to make you laugh about something silly and ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Is Lamar still on the board as of right now?
Nah, he's gone. My two guys are gone.
Who is that quarterback right now?
Yeah, Lamar's gone. I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna stay in the division. I'm gonna go Jordan Love.
Okay, so down the line.
Yeah, because right now it's coming up. Like I see Drake London still there. Nico Collins is still there. Mike Evans still there. Like I'm just gonna go off of just straight value right now. Like like Jalen Waddle is still there. So that's just receiver wise. Running backs is kind of like, man, so you got Josh Jacobs, you got Kenneth Walker. Like those are guys I'm not really like interested in. DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery. Like nobody really like stands out to me at running back right now. But the thing that I might do too is I might just take the top rated tight end.
Okay. Yeah.
Top rated tight end is still Travis Kelce. So yeah. I'll take Kelce. And it's gonna come back to me pretty quick too. So I'm taking my kicker next. Nah. No kickers. No kickers right now.
No Harrison Butker love this early.
I mean, yeah, and Drake London is still out there.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
people
Kirk
laugh at
AJ.
Yes. Yeah. I know I was about to say people laugh at Kirk. They say this, then the other. For a guy who gets as much stick and criticism as he gets, he makes receivers better. He does. Like I know people don't like it. Oh, Kirk is boring. Oh, Kirk is this, that. And again, it's got his faults. Don't get me wrong. But Kirk Cousins, where he goes in fantasy too, like he's a value where you can get
he's a value.
for what the production he can produce. Obviously, he goes later in drafts because he runs as slow as I do basically half the time. But he could throw for legitimately, 30 plus touchdowns if he is on it. His game, and with that Falcons O-line, like, man, I think they're gonna have a really, really good season. And I'm not just saying that because, I liked Kirk at this time in Minnesota. Like that Falcons offensive line is a legit unit.
It's legit.
They got Bijan, they got Kyle Pitts, they got Drake London. Like they got a legit offense. The question is the defense. But if that defense is solid, I don't want to say it, but Kirk could be really, getting a season on us where he's like, hey, I can win playoff games. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the Falcons are absolutely a team I expect to win that division and see what happens from there.
So you saying Kirk Cousins is the final piece?
Hey, I'll say this in all seriousness. He's actually probably more of the final piece in Atlanta than he was in Minnesota. The amount of people
I like that
that don't realize the situation Rick Spielman put him in. Our O-line was so mid to put it nicely, when Kirk got here, got to Minnesota, like, people don't realize we were playing Nick Easton, Pat Outflying. Like, these guys are not good, and they were just thrown in there. Brian O'Neill was like the only offensive lineman throughout
And he was
Kirk's
second round
entire
pick.
tenure. He's second round pick, yeah. And he was supposed to be developmental. I remember when he was drafted out of Pitt, people did not think he was going to start right away, and he
Me
ended
too.
up becoming a star. So
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
you get a lot of opportunity. Everybody in front of you isn't that good, right?
it's true, man. That's why we appreciate Darisaw so much, because man, we've been there and done that with offensive linemen.
Yes. Well, TJ Clemmings, remember that guy?
God. Yeah, yeah. God Almighty. Do you remember Rashad Hill?
Yeah, remember that guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Viking fans, guys. We can go back. We didn't
Oli
just start
Udo at guard. That was
just
fun.
never-
Oli Udo experiment at guard. That was fun.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I don't see. I have a gripe with that too. Like, I don't like when teams try to put players at positions they never excelled at or played at before. Like,
So like Blake Brendel at guard this season.
it better not be Oli Udo 2.0.
Oh God, I
Like,
hope not. Can it be that? If it's that bad, Sam Darnold's gonna really be seeing ghosts for real. For real.
yeah.
Oh God. Oh man.
Yeah. So I think I'm going Drake London next.
He has extremely high upside. Like, if he can put it, like, I expect this to be a career year for him with Kirk. I really do. Because
Yeah, I'm just
they
waiting on
don't
this-
have another receiver. They don't got another
Yeah.
receiver after Drake
They
London.
don't. I mean,
I think it's. Go ahead.
he
I don't
did
want
it.
to cut you. I apologize.
he did it, without a reliable quarterback. So let's see what he can do.
I agree. Like Kyle Pitts, I'm a lot higher on Falcons players than I was a year ago, because Desmond Ridder was just so bad. They had no chance.
Mm-hmm.
So
So Drake London is still there. Let me see what they. Drake London is the second best player to take right now. So I'm taking Drake London. So basically, my receivers are Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Travis Kelce, and Drake London. I like that.
yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah, we gotta get a quarterback and some running backs now, but I like that a lot.
If they make you wait, like if they force your hand, like I'm telling you, that Kirk Cousins stock with Drake London could be nasty. It could legitimately be a top 5, top 7 fantasy duo. It really could. A quarterback, wide receiver duo. And again, everyone laughs at Kirk. Ha ha ha. If you look at where he was in fantasy when he got injured, I know people laugh at him. Statistically, he was on an MVP pace. He was. I'm pretty sure he was leading the NFL in touchdown passes. He
was.
can. The one question mark is, how does he come back from a torn Achilles? But if he's out there lane, you need a quarterback, man. Like, that's a good value. But I like what you're building here in a PPR. And like you said, when you got the running back position where you have a point every 5 yards, it's probably not worth going out of your way to force it when you can get a lower end guy and he can still produce a decent amount of points.
Yeah, and the guy I'm targeting right now is going to be Ramondre Stevenson. You got a defensive minded head coach. You got a rookie quarterback in there. You should be able to run the ball. You have to run the ball. You should be forced to run the ball. So that's what I'm going next. Like, it makes no sense to try. I mean, if you're not going to get a McCaffrey early at like number 2 or 3, like,
No, I like it. I like it. I like Ramondre. He's been a guy that I've targeted in a lot of mock drafts that I've done. And again, for some reason, everyone's just sleeping on him. Like, they paid him. This isn't Bill Belichick. They don't got a peanut butter jelly sandwich running back waiting in the wings like a Deion Lewis. Like, they're gonna play him.
You're right. They paid him. They paid him. So, and
go ahead.
There's a lot of receivers out there too. Still, like Malik Neighbors is still out there. I might want to sneak him on this roster, but I gotta go with other positions now.
Yeah,
and the quarterback, it's probably gonna be Jordan Love. It's probably gonna be that. Every year for like, I think maybe like 6 years straight, Aaron Rodgers was my quarterback in fantasy. And I have guys that's like, hey, aren't you a Viking fan? I'm like, yeah, but Aaron Rodgers is good.
Yeah, yeah,
Like Aaron Rodgers, man. Like before he got all crazy.
yeah. He's been different since he went to New York, man. He's been having a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the
I,
same guy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. School state of mind. You're gonna make me shake my head. You take Jane Daniels over Caleb Williams. You're gonna make me shake my head.
You know, that's gonna be my second guy though. I just got him there waiting.
Yeah.
but you know why I put Jaden Daniels there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my daughter goes to the same high school. You know,
Yeah.
we went to the parade and everything. That's all it is. It's the homer in me. Like I'm gonna just admit it. It's the homer in me. Like that's all it is.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, I'm just kidding. Doesn't mean that much. But I will say he had that really, really nice throw. Was it against the Jets a couple weeks ago? That was an absolute dart down the field.
Yeah. I remember the first preseason game. I had like planned everything. Like, oh my God, I'm going to come home. I'm gonna watch this preseason game. Whatever, right? And I was like, I go to the TV. I'm like, oh, Vikings Raiders is up there, right? They change it. They changed it to Washington versus whoever. I'm like, man, why you do this? I was like, oh, I get it. You want to showcase the California kid on the California market. I don't want to see that right now.
How is it? That's a good point. Like, how is it watching like preseason games? Like not in the Minnesota area. It's a lot easier for me because I have a sports package in Canada where I can just stream every single preseason game. But how is that in the California area? Because usually the States, it's like regional restrictions, right? So
it's real tricky. So what I had to do is, since the NFL has that NFL Plus now through the app, they have the subscription service. So I basically had to pay for that, which is only like $14. But you think the preseason is only 3 games anyway. So I just use that to basically stream the games. I mean, that's on top of me paying for the NFL Sunday ticket every year. But the games are out here, especially it's worse now. It used to be a little bit better before the Rams came back and before the Chargers came. But because now that they're the team that's not too far away from us, the Fox plays the Rams and NBC or ABC, whatever, plays the Chargers. So yeah, I hate it. It used to be the Raiders and the Niners like that back in the day because they were the closest teams. Well, in San Diego too, but nobody ever liked San Diego. LA fans hate San Diego. They hate the Chargers.
Poor LaDainian Tomlinson. He gave his heart to that franchise. He really did.
Yeah, he did.
Earlier this summer, I watched his football life on. It was good. It was really well done. I made me respect the LT all that much more, and I remember like people would tweet that stuff out, like AP or LT, and I always say LaDainian Tomlinson, man. Like I don't think people respect his greatness. Like he was fantastic.
Okay, Mike, I got a question for you.
Sure.
In the NFL draft with Adrian Peterson, who is the best running back out that draft?
God, I got to go back here because I'm so bad with who was Lynch in that draft?
It's Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch was the best running back in that draft.
Lynch was in that draft, right?
Guys, I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
Marshawn Lynch was dynamic. He could catch the ball and he could actually pass block.
Yes, he could. If you're talking about all-around running back,
yeah,
Lynch was better. As an all-around, it's not even like AP couldn't catch, he couldn't block, like at all, which is crazy. The guy looks like he's cut from stone, and he couldn't pass block. Crazy,
right? Yeah, but, and the career-wise too, like we know Adrian Peterson is going to Hall of Fame when he eventually announces his retirement.
When he retires, I don't know what he's waiting on, but I digress.
You're right about that. What are you waiting on, man? Just go ahead and retire.
I've been saying it for years. All he's doing is extending his eligibility weight. That's all he's doing. Right. No team is signing him at 36, 37 years old. Not a chance. He had his last run with, I think it was the Titans, like 3 years ago during COVID. That's
Then he
it.
got cut.
Yes, it's over. Like it's okay to say it's over. It's over.
So I don't know how the rules work, Mike, but let's say he announces his retirement from NFL. Can he still play in the spring leagues?
Oh God. Could you imagine the look of that if he's playing in the USFL, like in the for the Rock? The what do they call that? God Almighty! I hope that doesn't happen.
I mean, if he wants to play, then
I'd
play.
imagine he. Oh God, it's a good. I don't know if he could because technically it's the Pro Football Hall of. Man, for the love of God, I wish you should be able to, but I don't know if they'll be sticklers. The reason
though, like we don't even know if the UFL or whatever it's called is going to be around next year. He could have just dominated that league and retired for the NFL and still got a check. And
I know, I agree. I don't know what he's doing. It's sad. You know, you don't like when your former, greatest favorite player that takes this path. Like, it's just not fun. I remember this off season, right? Or in like March or April, there was that rumor like there was this guy trying to like sell his stuff, but he said, "No, I don't want you to. Like, I didn't ask you to do it." Like, it's sad.
bad case.
I don't. Yeah, it's not great. But I brought up the Hall of Fame earlier because I was going to mention it. Did you see the change today that was announced for next eligibility that coaches only have to wait 1 year starting next year, not this year, but starting 2020 after the 2025 season? What are your thoughts on that?
The coaches have to wait 1 more year?
Only 1 year. They used to have to wait 5. Now they only have to wait 1 year. It's a 4-year difference. What do you think about that?
I just think they probably did that because the way coaches get fired every year. The guys might not ever coach again. But nah, I don't like it. Wait, make him wait 5 because you can just be gone for 1 year and come right back.
Yeah, but for a guy like Bill Belichick for Hall of Fame, like, does he really, like, if he's waiting 5 years, you're talking about him like
just like Tom Brady,
old.
right? Perfect example.
I know,
Bill
but it's different. I'm not trying to go like
going right now.
Like, but like if he's 77 years old, you don't know what 5 years from now looks like, right? Like, I'm not trying to go. You know what I mean? I'd rather it be 1 year in special case because we all know Bill Belichick's a Hall of Famer. For love of God, you hope every person on planet lives 99 years old, but that's just not reality. You don't want to, have that visual of Bill Belichick not being there first. But that's all I'm saying for his Hall of Fame. That's why I like this change personally. Because if Bill coaches another 3 years, right? And he might come back next coaching cycle for a couple of years and then retire. You know what I mean?
So, he wants the coaching record.
Yeah. I don't know if he can catch. Can he catch Don Shula? I know he can catch Hallis, I think. I don't think he can catch Don Shula. He's so far ahead.
He's only maybe 20 wins away or something like that. Like,
I think go back and look.
Look it up.
I don't know.
Because if he's only far away, come back, go on the team, develop some guys, and there you go. Yeah, I'm going with Ramondre Stevenson right here.
I like it. I like that. I like that pick. Let me see here. All time NFL. Oh, you're right. It's 20. It's 26 wins. 26 wins away to tie it.
That's about 3 seasons. He can get that in 3 seasons.
Yeah, depends obviously where he ends up, which is a big part of the reason why I think he said he wanted to go to Atlanta and wasn't willing to take any job available because he wants to break the record.
Yeah, I would want to see him break the record. And just like you said too, I want to see him go in the Hall of Fame. I want to see him be there to go in the Hall of Fame. Like, I know it's a different sport, but Pete Rose, for example, right? Like, I want to see him go in the Hall of Fame. Like, regardless of what he did was wrong, I think he's paid for it enough. Like, he's getting older in age. Like, don't wait until he passes on to say, hey, yeah, let's do the right thing. Do it now while he can feel the whole situation of being the whole Hall of Fame. Like, I want to see him in the Hall of Fame.
That's why I said I'm not trying to go dark. You obviously, like I said, you hope every person lives a long, long time, but that's just not reality sometimes. You never know what happens in life. So I agree with you. I want to see the visual of Bill Belichick in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's potentially the greatest coach to ever coach. So,
yeah, he is the greatest coach in my opinion.
If you're Bill, though, where would you want to go? Let's say the Cowboys fire Mike McCarthy. You think that would be the perfect fit?
I'm going to tell you where he's going next year.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
Going to Buffalo.
So could you imagine the visual? Wow. That would be. Man, that'd be fun, though. That'd be fun.
If Josh Allen doesn't have the season without everything, Stephon Diggs and all the crazy stuff going on, right? Let's say they don't get to where they've been going the past couple of seasons, because they've been knocking on the door every year.
Yes.
They have. They have been. If they don't make the playoffs or they get bounced in the wild card round, McDermott's gone. You can bring Belichick right in there, and he can stick it to Robert Kraft 2 times a year.
Could you imagine the visual?
I want to see
it. My family are Bills fans, so I would love nothing more but to see Bill Belichick give it to the New England. Like, that would be hilarious on so many fronts. Because could you imagine the visual? If Bill Belichick at like 70-something years old is the reason the Buffalo Bills win their first Lombardi trophy. That'd be crazy. That'd be absolutely insane.
Right?
You know, I'm telling you, they'd be unstoppable with Josh Allen on offense with Bill Belichick at head coach. They'd be almost unstoppable. That's the way. If you want to beat Andy Reid and Mahomes, have the only guy that can literally do it in Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. That's where I want him to go. I mean, I don't wish McDermott would get fired, but
he kind of deserves it. Who are we kidding? He kind of deserves it. That 13 seconds, man. For the love of God, what are you doing? That 13 seconds, like, how do you manage?
Looks like Jordan Love came off the board already. It's okay. I got a lot of skill position groups. It's all right. Let me look and see who else is a good quarterback for me to take. Jaden Daniels is up there, and Caleb.
Where are we? Pick 63.
And Kirk's there too.
I see your league likes to go quarterback early, like from what I can see for the rankings compared to the actual.
I'm on the board.
Do you need another running back still?
I think I might go with Tajay Spears from Tennessee. He should be the lone back over there. But
they brought in Pollard, though. They did sign Pollard in free agency.
And Pollard sucks, though. He's a backup. That's Dalvin. I mean, not Dalvin Cook. That's Alexander Madison. Like, you're a backup, man.
I don't know. I don't know, because they paid him good money in free agency.
You know what? Damn. Jaden is right there.
Because I can't see it all. Who is there at running back? Could I at least get a little bit of a look here? Because all I see is quarterback. Because I can't see the
Jonathan Brooks, Jalen Warren, Mike Robinson. It's all like backups. Only starting guys.
Najee has upside. I mean, if you want to go Tajay Spears, you can absolutely do that. That's what you're feeling.
They're right the same too. You know what? I'm going Jaden.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do have to get a quarterback at some point.
Yeah, I have to get a quarterback. And I think they're going to be scared of Kirk because of the injury. So I can go back with Kirk after that. Yeah.
Now this is your longer wait, right? That was
it's a long wait now.
This is the longer wait now.
Yeah, it's a long wait now. 7.
What do you oh, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say, what are you looking forward to seeing tomorrow in the preseason game for the Vikings? Any player you got your eye on?
Lewis Singh.
Okay. I was just saying, please don't say Jaron Hall.
I'm not. if Jaron Hall had the number 3 spot on the team solidified, they wouldn't have signed Matt Corral. I know they might needed an extra arm in practice, but at the same time, it's like he's there. Matt Corral's there just to push, Jaron Hall, and they know either one of those guys could get cut and pass through waivers. So I'm not finna say any of the quarterbacks is playing tomorrow. I really want to see if Lewis Cine can consistently have another good game. I'm not asking him to have the same game he had last week. I just want to see if mentally he can go in there, take care of business, have a good game, and whatever happens, happens. If they trade him, if they roster him, whatever happens, happens. At least he can say he got the opportunity in the preseason this year and stacked up 2 good games. That's what I want to see the most.
Yeah. I tweeted about Lewis. I'm like, oh, he finally laid a big hit. It only took 2.5 years. I'm so proud of him.
I think it's the injury. I think it is.
Yeah, from when he came in from college, right? The one that he had all those years ago. He's never
the one he had, the one he had in Minnesota in London. That compound fracture.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Some people don't come back from that. He split his leg in half.
That's right. Honest to God, I completely forgot about that. So you just mentioned it because it was because his career feels like such a what's the word I'm looking for? Like such a quick ride. Like it's just all flashed before your eyes. We're in year 3. I completely forgot about that. Against the Saints.
In the game, he was coming down. It looks like the turf was bad. And he went to go plant and made a hit, and he broke his leg literally in half.
Yeah.
And he had to stay in London for about a couple of weeks. But in the surgery, he couldn't even come back to the state. So
because he couldn't travel. With the way
he couldn't travel. And then you gotta think about it. He wasn't drafted for Brian Flores' system. He was drafted for Donatel's system. So that's that. And coaching staff wise, and I'm gonna say this right now, some people don't agree with me. I don't think Metellus is a legitimate safety. Like,
wow.
If you look at his PFF and the way he lines up and where he takes his snaps, he's not really playing safety. He's a gadget guy. And I look at the different angle I look at it, they basically re-signed him to a bigger contract before the season started because they knew he was going to be in that rover type role because they would have created a problem this season. Hey, I'm doing all this. I need to get, I'm 6th round picking to get paid, whatever. Like, I don't necessarily see like people are like, oh, Lewis Cine can't get past Metellus. Well, Metellus doesn't play safety, in my opinion.
He does play a lot of linebacker in the box. Yeah,
corner.
I get that. Yeah. And that's a good point. The thing is, I would love to see Lewis Cine, get past Theo Jackson for the 3rd corner or safety spot. And, because let's be real, Cam Bynum we got to have these real conversations.
He might not
be back. He might not be back. And, you've got to utilize cap space somewhere. And this is
draft capital.
You said it right when we were starting the video. Rick Spielman paid everybody. You cannot do that. Cam Bynum might be one of those guys. You say, okay, sorry, you've been good, but we'll take that comp pick and we'll move along. Like,
I got a question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
You're a big Viking fan like me. Is Cam Bynum that good, or is everybody else that good that plays next to Harrison? Anthony Harris, Andrew Sandejo.
Yeah.
Like, Harrison does all the dirty work because we know Harrison is that guy. And the other guy just basically plays coverage a little bit. He can read and react. Like, I want to see how Cam Bynum plays without Harrison on the field. Because we've seen Harrison make the other safety look good.
Yeah.
Because after Anthony Harris left the Vikings, he got a good contract with Philly, and then he got cut.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Going to Cleveland and then played like crap.
Yeah, with Cleveland and got cut. Like, It's Harrison, man. Like
That's a great. I can't lie. That's a great point.
I want to see
Look,
it.
I mean, there was that one year where Bynum was awful, and a lot of people want to just say it was all Donatel's fault. I don't know, and
But think
like,
about it, though, right? Bynum was awful because Donatel had Harrison playing out of his position.
yeah, yeah,
So when Harrison went back to the way he plays last year, because people don't understand this, right? Brian Flores and Mike Zimmer are basically from the same tree. That's Bill
yes, yeah,
Parcells' tree.
yes,
Like
yeah.
Bill Parcells, you know, Belichick, all these guys, they're all from the same tree.
Say the
So
same umbrella. Yeah,
same umbrella. When Harrison went back to his position, Bynum started looking good again. I'm just saying.
true. I'm being honest with you. If you're telling me to let a Cam Bynum go and pay a center next free agency, it's not a question for me. It's a center.
Do it.
Like
Do it.
I'm sorry, it would anger a lot of people. Cam Bynum's the nice guy. This is where I agree with you. You've got to be selective. You cannot pay everybody. And I
Yeah.
was talking to my one buddy, and he's like, Mike, I made a point to him. I said, well, look at who they paid. They paid JJ and they paid
Yep.
Darrison. They did not prioritize Bynum, and I don't think that was by accident. I don't.
And he's a safety. He wasn't going to break the bank anyway.
No, I think they realized there's bigger fish to fry. There was bigger priorities, and look, who's to say Harry doesn't come back for another season? Like I wouldn't be. Would you be shocked if he signed another 1 year deal?
No.
I wouldn't be. I
No.
wouldn't be shocked if he restructured his deal one more time. They have Metellus on the roster. They keep seeing around maybe, and they dropped it or bring in a cheaper safety in free agency, and they let Bynum walk. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me in the slightest.
I wouldn't be mad at that because
No.
think about like Bynum. You know, if he goes, you already have Lewis Seen still under team control.
Yeah.
Like, and basically the first 2 seasons have been a wash. If Seen can actually get on the field consistently, you can kind of control that contract. You can control that narrative. But with Bynum, he's going to want to get paid, which in turn is going to affect your books going forward. So I'm okay with that. Like, go pay a center. Like, go pay another guard. like, that's how I look at it. Like, do that. Positions that you can't develop, go get it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree. We talked about it earlier about moving tackles to guards. We've done it 3 times now in my lifetime as a Vikings, which is crazy. They did it with Ole, they did it with Ezra, and they're doing it with Blendell now. I don't get it. I completely agree with you. If you're telling me I can have a better offensive line because I let Cam Bynum walk, I'm sorry. It's not a conversation. We need you, especially coming back. JJ McCarthy have a torn meniscus in a year's time. It's not even a question. Yes,
he needs to be protected. Like, I don't. They just look at
the Chiefs. There's a reason the Chiefs paid Green Humphrey yesterday because you protect your franchise quarterback. It's more important.
And didn't they get Joe Tooney in free agency the year before?
Yep, a couple years ago. Yep.
Yeah. So you got to pay attention to what's going on in the league. How guys are developing their teams. I mean, think about it like this. Back in the day, Brad Childress probably was a horrible coach, but his best signing was a guard. It was Hutchinson. It was
God, I miss Steve Hutchinson. I may have been. I was young, but for the love of God, it's been a long time. Oh God.
Yeah, it was a guard. I just feel like if you keep drafting guards and you don't have the money to basically sign as of right now big name guards, when you do have the money, just go get a guard. Just go get a center, and then you can get somebody in the draft you can develop in the background to take over for Cam Bynum. Like you can do that. Go back to Brian Flores. If Brian Flores is that great of a defensive coordinator, you can develop guys. Then you can tell Kwesi, we're not doing that. Put this over here, and I'll get you a guy. I'll get you a guy.
We even look at Theo Jackson last season when he played. He was very good. He was very
solid.
good. Yes. You can. I'm sorry, and people get
And
mad again.
it goes back to my point again. Who's the guy playing again, on the other side of him?
Yeah.
Harrison Smith.
I agree. And nobody talks about it. Harrison Smith's greatness does not get talked about at all because he's not the biggest rah guy. He's not a Brian Dawkins. He doesn't make himself out there. He doesn't talk trash. Yes, and like I said, those guys aren't usually the most popular for national media. But man, Harrison Smith, couldn't agree more, and he's fantastic.
And maybe
I know he's old, but he's still the best safety on the team.
Still best safety on the team. Maybe Mike Zimmer knew that, and that's probably why Mike Zimmer rotated the other safety so many years, and he never wanted to pay for that because he knew I can put just somebody solid on the other side of Harrison Smith, and he's going to be just good because I'm going to ask Harrison to do so much that guy can just not have a lot of pressure. Maybe that's what Zimmer knew.
I agree. What's the difference of a Harrison Smith and a Brian Dawkins and a Champ Bailey? They're all one of the same. They were able to extend their career so long and just be great players. He's one of those guys.
Right.
All righty.
I need another running back. So the running back went right ahead of me. Oh, wow. Nick Chubb is still there.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of the same guys are still there that were there before.
I got two back. I'm going to go Nick Chubb on that one.
Yeah. You should come back with I like the pick for the value. We got to come back because he won't start the season. But that's fine.
And see how I think about it too. He has the O1 that means out, right? So he won't start the season. No. I actually get two guys for one because once the season starts, I'm going to drop him to IR and open up a roster spot. Then I can sign another guy.
That's a fantastic point.
That makes too much sense. And now the best defense is Baltimore. It's probably gone already. Yeah, Baltimore's gone already. So
you should just stream.
But back to the safeties though. Yeah, I would let Cam walk. I like the guy, but hey, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. We can't keep making the same problems we made with the last regime.
Yep.
I completely agree. I think Scene has it. Like,
could you imagine what a turnaround that would be? I'm not gonna lie, Quessy needs it for that class because man, every year that class keeps getting worse and worse for production.
I think Scene has it. It just feels like to me, you can't put him on the field with Harrison because to me it's a little similar. It's too similar. You got him in the box. He's blitzing. He's knocking people around. You can't have two safeties doing that because the offense can predict that. I just think he has it. He's tall. He's fast. Let's hope it happens. Let's hope it happens. I go to the barbershop and it's they're Detroit guys, right? And they always tell me, "Oh, Lewis Scene's a bust." I'm like, James Winnipeg did nothing either. They're in the same boat.
J-Mo's the same crap. Yeah, he's the same crap. But J-Mo had 2 touchdowns in the NFC title game. He finally did something for the first time in his life.
For the first time, right?
Yeah, he's nothing either. He's the same
still available right now. I know he's still available in this league right now.
Oh, for sure he is. Oh yeah,
he's available.
Oh, yeah. That's why the Vikings traded down. What I hate about the trade was that they should have picked up another first from Detroit. They should have said, "Look, it's divisional tax. You're going up 20 spots. You give us another 2, or another first, or we're not doing this."
Yeah, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. They shouldn't have got a whole lot more.
No, I completely agree. Or a D tackle for the love of God, that'd be nice. Never thought I'd miss Linval Joseph so much, but God, I do. What was I going to say? You made a great point though about Lewis Scene, and hopefully, that's that homer inside of us that all wants to come out. If he does turn it around, he'll be so cheap on that second contract.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Team control contract.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see where I gotta go. I don't have a defense, and I don't have a kicker. But who's the highest rated receiver? There's Godwin, Christian Kirk. That guy, I still can't believe Christian Kirk got that crazy contract. He's done nothing.
He broke the receiver market individually.
Why?
After that, it's
He does nothing.
it's what it's funny. It's what his teammate Trevor Lawrence did to the quarterback market. Completely blew it out of the water.
Another tight end. TJ's still there, but he's gonna be out.
Yeah.
Let me see what the running backs look like. Austin Eckler, David Singletary. Let me see if there's another quarterback. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. I'm going with Kirk. I'm going with Kirk just because Daniel Downs is a rookie. If he hits that rookie wall, I can always throw Kirk and be consistent.
And we got that stack with Drake London. We're cooking.
So, yeah. And now
MVP
the long
Kirk
wait.
O'Chains. Let's get it. Now,
that might be my new name. Yeah.
In all seriousness, though, like I have a strong feeling Atlanta's going to be a good team this year. I really do. I love what they did the last week. I criticized the everything on their draft because the Michael Penix decision was crazy. But they bring in Justin Simmons at safety. They bring in Matthew Judon. That was the key. Was they needed an edge. Matthew Judon is a massive acquisition. Massive acquisition. And it might change their entire outlook on their defense. That's why I'm a lot higher on the Falcons than I was a week ago.
And their division is
soft. Yes. I could see Kirk going 6-0 in that division. Yeah. I really could.
Yeah, the division is soft.
Who are you scared of? Derek Carr, Bryce Young year 2, and I like Bryce Young, but for love of God, that team is...
Derek Carr is their version of Sam Darnold. He's probably going to start the season, play a couple of games, and I bet you they're going to go throw in Spencer Rattler early.
Probably. Wouldn't shock me. Well, if Dennis Allen wants to save his job and Mickey Loomis wants to keep his job, they need a quarterback to replace Drew Brees. It's like the Derek Carr signing, make no bones about it. That was to try to have a proper stopgap from that transition period from when Brees left. It did not work. It did not work.
It didn't work.
So, man, I just find it so funny every offseason because Mickey Loomis had so many void years and pushes money down the line every offseason. He's like $100 million in the hole every offseason. It's hilarious. All he's got to,
bad year and chill.
Oh, it's hilarious. Restructure, void year, cut one guy. It's hilarious. But yeah,
Saints you only do that if you're in contention.
That's why it's hilarious.
Every year, but if you're barely making the playoffs and not making the playoffs, you gotta take a step back and just let the roster reset itself.
Yep. It's hilarious. Every offseason, they're like 80 or 90 million in the hole because of all the sins of years past because they tried to extend that window with Drew Brees. It's hilarious.
They only got one Super Bowl. One.
Yep. Unfortunately, it was on us.
And they shouldn't even have that. Yes, we're Viking fans. They shouldn't even have
it was
that.
rigged. It was a screw job.
See, this is when these guys start picking slow.
Taking their time, letting it simmer.
Yeah, they just don't know what to pick right now. But it's okay.
I like the team though overall. Like overall, it's quite good because it's very deep at wide out. Running back, you got one not superstar, but really solid player in Ramondre. Chubb, when he gets back, will be a superstar. You hope, right?
I hope.
Do we have it? You drafted Kelsey at tight end?
Yep.
So you're in a good spot. You really just need another solid, reliable running back, maybe 2 more of those, and then that's really it. Like we're in a good spot here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a guy that likes to go defense kicker high?
It depends on what the board looks like. If my projected top rated defense or kicker is there, I would do it. Like right now is the perfect time to get Justin Turner. Like Get him.
Tucker. Yeah.
Tucker, yeah, Justin Tucker, right? Get him, call it a day. Harrison Butker, get him, call it a day. Like after those
Yeah.
two guys, it's like who else is left? And that's kind of the reason why I take the tight ends so early, is because if you look at the way the tight ends are after Kelsey, Andrews, Laporta, Hawkinson, Kittle, there's 32 teams. Like
Yeah. It's so top heavy.
You know, that's it. And I keep telling these guys, like every year, like, so we play quarterback. The starting has to be quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receiver, 1 tight end, a flex, defense kicker. I keep asking guys, like, the tight ends are trash. Take the tight end out and let's have 2 flexes. Let's go 2 flexes and make it a little bit harder. You know, but guys are like, oh, the tight end is just like, there are no tight ends. If a guy doesn't get the top 5, you're going to be dropping and cutting tight ends all season.
Or it's going to be very matchup heavy, where you have probably 2 tight ends and you go by the matchup every week. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm just,
I get what you're saying.
Think about the strategy.
I will say, in this era, I do think tight ends are a little bit more productive team to team than they used to be. But even if I extend it to the Kincaids, the Kyle Pitts, the David Njoku's, the Evan Ingrams, it's still only like 9 guys that you actually would really trust.
Really,
yeah. So many teams have such bad tight ends. It's pretty rough. Like the Green Bay Packers. That's one thing we have them on. Yeah.
Who is their tight end?
Oh God, I think it's Luke Musgrave.
Who's that guy?
I
thought they still have Mercedes Lewis.
No, I think he's gone. I think he's retired now. If not, he's a free agent.
He's like 40.
Yeah, he's old anyway. Not that it matters. I remember playing fantasy back in the day with he was on Jacksonville. He was decent tight end.
Jaguars, right?
Yeah, he was decent. He was a decent tight end. It's crazy how long he's been. Mad respect to him, because I don't know how the heck he's still in the league as a tight end, and he's a good blocker. Like, it's crazy at 40 years old that he's still in good enough shape to be that productive as a blocker is quite incredible.
Yeah. And the conditioning aspect of it too, just to get his body ready through training camp, and week after week, it's a lot.
Well, I actually think he's still a free agent. He's doing the Brett Favre stretching out, getting ready for the regular season. I could be wrong, but I think he's still a free agent as of today. I could be wrong though. What was I going to say? I lost it. Where was I? Oh, I lost it. Dang, I lost what I was going to say. I forgot.
Jones. Aaron Jones or Rashad Rice. Jones. Of course, Jones. What do you think the running back position for the Vikings is going to look like this year?
That's where I was going with this. Actually, you reminded me. I was going to say, we have no pass blockers, for the love of God. After Aaron Jones, we have no pass blockers at running back. That's where I was going with this. I actually think the running backs are going to look like this. Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Myles Gaskin. I think makes a team, because if Aaron Jones gets hurt, we have no pass blockers at running back.
I don't like Ty Chandler either.
No, I actually was going to say going Wangwu, Gaskins, Aaron Jones, cut Ty Chandler. He can't block. And he showed in the preseason. He looked like, I know it's preseason. He did not look good.
I think that's the reason why they're holding on to CJ Ham so much too, is because at least like on third down, you can kind of like, okay, those
cheering
CJ
for
Ham.
Mo Ibrahim though. Hey, I'm cheering for Mo Ibrahim. We signed him this week, pulling for him. No, that's a good point on Ham. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, but can Ibrahim block?
Yes, he's a huge dude. I know. I was looking. I'm not kidding you. I looked at his scouting report when we signed him. I like to do that. Go back and scout. Yeah, he was a good blocker at college out of Minnesota. Well, I mean, they couldn't throw the ball very much, so there was less reps because I think their core was a Tanner Morgan. think that's right.
Right.
He threw the ball as good as I did most of the time. Uh, so there's that. But I know he can block. Yes, he's got good sound base for blocking.
Yeah, I think that's going to
Uh,
be a position of need next season.
Would you address it? Would you address it before the season? Like, are you good with the running back room today as it is? Because
No,
I'm not.
I'm not at all. And my reasoning why I'm not at all is just you can't. I look at running backs like this, like, well, play running back. So you have to be responsible to help your quarterback and like keep him safe, especially after if your offensive line is shaky, it's on you to pick up that block, and it's on you to kind of help him read the defense. Like the running back has a lot of responsibilities, and I just really feel like Aaron Jones is the only running back that is a true NFL running back. That's an all-around running back.
Yes,
He can run, he can pass block, he can catch, he can do a lot of different things. I don't like a roster with running backs with guys that can only run fast straight. That's Wangu. And then you got Chandler to where he still doesn't know, like, has the vision of how he hits the holes the right way. I mean, he's fast. I mean, the NFL, everyone's kind of fast. So he doesn't do anything like why are we rostering these guys? Like, I draft a guy. I wanted Marshawn Lloyd, but it didn't happen. He went to Green Bay. But I just feel like that's going to be a big position of need going forward.
I'm pulling for Mo Ibrahim. I think he's got a real opportunity to do something with this game against the Eagles. Because he had I think people forget he was highly touted out of Minnesota. I know he didn't get drafted because of his injury concerns. Then he ended up getting that hip injury with Detroit. But he made their team, and I genuinely think Mo Ibrahim's got a chance to do so. And it's going to be easy for the fans to pull for him. He's got a real opportunity against Philadelphia. If he has a good game and he looks good as a blocker, I know this might sound insane because I honestly think they signed him to be a third week of the preseason running back so they can cut him the next day.
Just so you can rest your guys.
Yes. I actually think he could steal a roster spot if he looks good. They should at least give him a chance to do that because I'm sorry. Why should Ty Chandler and Kene make the team if either of them could block? Not both. One has to go.
One or the other. That's how I feel. One or the other.
I'm sorry. I completely agree with you. You cannot keep both. We just saw it last year. I was such a big hater's the wrong word. I was so angry with Alexander Madison because they kept trotting him out there when he had no ability to run in the red zone at all. Literally 0 running touchdowns to end the season.
And you were you started the season as a starting running back. Like that's
insane.
That's ridiculous.
And he started 14 games.
Yeah.
He played a majority of the games as a starter, except for that little injury that he had. But the reason he played so much, looking back, is because he could pass block.
Yeah.
When Ty Chandler was in there, he can't pass block. He's such a liability. He can't do it. And Kene, for an NFL running back, is like mini-me. He's way too small to do anything.
He's a kick return guy. Like,
yes. I think he can be a really good explosive runner. He cannot pass block, though. He just can't.
Yeah, but he's the equivalent to Marcus Shells on offense, where Marcus Shells was technically a cornerback, but you're not going to take him out there. But on special teams, he's that dude. I think Kene is that dude on special teams, but is he going to ever give you anything offensively? We don't know.
I blame Zimmer part of that he didn't give him a proper chance to be a running back. KOC hasn't done it either, which gives me legitimate concern. But again, it's because he can't pass block.
But KOC doesn't like running the ball either.
No, well, not properly. He doesn't. When he's supposed to do play action, he doesn't, and when he's supposed to run the ball, he doesn't. So yeah, I digress. I don't know. I'm really pulling for Mo Ibrahim. That's one of those guys that I'm really looking at. I agree with you on Lewis Cine, but Mo Ibrahim's another guy that I'm very excited to see what he can do because he's going to get a lot of chances. He's going to have a lot of reps. If he looks good for Jaron Hall, it could be a big deal for him. What are we looking at here?
I actually made the wrong pick on the last one. I was trying to get Gus Edwards, but I'm kind of confused. I think I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Who'd you take last pick?
I took who was this guy? I picked the wrong guy. I picked this guy.
That could be good. Charbonnet could legitimately be a surprise. He actually has a high upside. Huh?
I
Pardon?
hope so. I picked on accident.
Hey, sometimes you get lucky. I'll be honest, Charbonnet will probably be healthy compared to J.K. Dobbins with his injury problems.
Exactly.
So you could
let's see
get
what
lucky there.
happens. Yeah.
So,
And I think I'm gonna go rookie. The two rookie receivers later to fill out the receiving core. Ken Cole and Brian Thomas from Jacksonville. So that's how I'm gonna go because the receivers.
How many running backs?
Go ahead.
3 or 4? 4 running backs?
I got three. Got three now.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one afterwards, probably after you put Nick Chubb on IR. Is that how I?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Dang, Jordan Addison is still out there. That's crazy.
I blame Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that is Sam Darnold. That's a Sam Darnold effect. And Roma Doomsday is out there too for Chicago.
That could be a real steal if he lives up to what he could do. I've been watching Hard Knocks. He looks like the real deal. He really, really does. I think he's gonna be wide receiver 2 in Chicago. I don't think he's gonna be behind DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. I think he's gonna pass Keenan Allen by the end of the year.
Yeah, that is right. They have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
That might be good for his development though. You got a good pro in Keenan Allen. I mean, Keenan Allen had 200 yards on us last year. So I mean,
yeah. I felt like everybody had 100+ yards on us as a receiver. That was good, but no, I know. No, in all seriousness, Keenan Allen, he had a fantastic year last year, and I remember joking around like, is he on like steroids or something? Because he's not hurt. He's having a big year. Is there something going on here? I'm
every
still
year
kind of
he's
smiling.
hurt. Every year
I know.
hurt.
I was still mildly shocked he didn't pop, or and maybe that's why the Chargers got rid of him really fast. They know something we don't know. I'm kidding, but not fully. I still have my doubts why he was able to stay healthy last year. Because I feel like every year he's been hurt the last like 6 years or 5 years.
Yes,
he gets hurt every year.
He's been hurt his whole career.
That's why it was hilarious when they had Mike Williams and him. They were so high potential wideouts. They cannot stay healthy for the love of God.
And Mike Williams tore his ACL against us, right?
Yes. Now you see the Justin Herbert. I gotta get you to turn around on Justin Herbert. It's not his fault.
I can't do it, man. He hasn't won anything yet.
If he wins a playoff game, I think the narrative will turn in all seriousness. I think he needs a playoff win.
I really think he's good. I just can't. Mm-hmm. I can't put him in that second tier, third tier quarterback just yet. Like,
where would you put him? Where would you put him? If you had to rank him, like top 12?
He's in the top 12. He's there. But he's
okay. So
I go by tiers though. Like, I don't like do the ranking. I say this is how my tiers go. Pat Mahomes, number 1.
Yeah. Yes.
He's the only one by himself. He's in the penthouse by himself. Right?
Yeah.
So tier 2, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Joe Burrow, no, tier 2 is 3 guys. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. That's tier 2.
Okay.
Tier 3 is your Justin Herberts, your Dak Prescotts, people like that. So
so we're not that different.
Win a playoff game, and then I can put him in that tier because he lost to the Jaguars, man. Trevor Lawrence is ass. Like, like he lost to the Jaguars, man. Like, I understand the coach was an idiot, and he was an idiot, but still, man, like you gotta do a Brett Favre. You gotta say we're not running that play. We're trying to win this game.
Yeah. I understand people looking at it that way because at the end of the day, yes, it's partly on Justin Herbert for that loss, even though it's more on Stanley. And I remember saying that day when they lost, I said, Prince Stanley's got to be fired, man. How's this guy still?
Why didn't they fire him that time though?
Insane. Like that, people get mad at Vikings ownership, and I'm one of them. Man, that Chargers ownership is dog water. It is a joke. They're so cheap. Like,
and no one likes them. We hate the Chargers out here. And the reason why we hate the Chargers is because they're San Diego, and a lot of like Southern California, like people's dads or parents or elders in their family, they grew up as Raider fans, so they're in the same division. So when it was said that the team was supposed to be an AFC team, everyone was like, it's the Raiders, like it should be the Raiders. And then you bring the Chargers, it's like, what a slap in the face to Los Angeles. Like, we don't want the Chargers here, just bring the Raiders. Because a lot of the Raiders, still a lot of Raider fans in California.
Because LA, because they had the LA. It was the LA Raiders, yeah.
Chargers should have never came here. They don't even fill their stadium. Go back to San Diego.
Even when it was the soccer stadium, you remember that joke? Where they were playing the soccer stadium? They still couldn't sell out. They still couldn't sell out. Which is crazy. Because, like, people love football. When you're not selling out a stadium as a football team in the NFL, you got problems. You got serious problems.
I just think they shouldn't have stayed in San Diego. The Raiders shouldn't have came here. Shouldn't have been Raiders and Rams, and it would have been fine. Would have been fine. But now the Raiders, people still travel to Vegas from California to see the Raiders.
Yeah, yes, they do. Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, it's a very good point because the Raiders did have the actual history in LA. They did.
They won a Super Bowl here.
Yep. The Chargers are known as the biggest choke artists in the modern era. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you because we obviously do a lot of Vikings related stuff when you're on my spaces or I'm on here or whenever we talk on Twitter or whatever. But like, it's crazy to think the Chargers had Drew Brees, then they went to Phillip Rivers, then they went to Justin Herbert. 0 Super Bowls. 3 top 10 quarterbacks.
Yes.
Nothing. Insane.
Nothing.
It's insane.
Because it's the ownership.
And an elite running back too. Yep. Terrible ownership.
It's the ownership.
I agree. Yep.
Ownership. Like,
it's still crazy though. I will feel bad for Chargers fans though a little bit when back in the day, Phillip Rivers, they go to an AFC title game, he's playing on a torn ACL. That's really unlucky. But
I was a big Phillip Rivers guy too, man.
How could you be though? Like, he was such a lovable guy, like easy to cheer for.
He used to crack me up, like the trash talking, like
yeah. Do you remember the bow ties he used to wear at the post game? The little what the heck were those things called?
The little
they
had a different
thing with the Texas bow tie. Yeah, yeah. I can't remember what the heck they were called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Either. I think it's some Texas thing.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And they had a Hall of Fame tight end too, Antonio Gates.
Yeah. Chargers had a lot of good players. They just could not win it. Oh.
Well, if you really think about it though, right? Like, they're kind of in the same thing as the current AFC teams now, right? These teams are good. These AFC teams are good, but they gotta beat Kansas City. Those AFC teams back in the day were good. They gotta beat New England.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, that's 100% true. Couldn't agree more. Like I said, it's hard to beat a dynasty.
It's hard.
Yep. It does help though when the refs have your back, like they did against Minnesota last year. That was disgusting.
Yeah, it does.
Brutal ref. That was so bad. I remember that PI in the end zone thinking, "Oh, we can come back against the Chiefs." Nope.
Not
today.
Oh man, these guys are really taking forever, man. Yeah, I'm going kicker.
Are you going with let me see here.
I wasn't going with Tucker.
Okay. No. Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
He's reliable. Been there for a while now. CJ Stroud, get them in a lot of field position. So.
Yeah, I'll go with him. And then all the rest of the guys in the queue is basically who I'm going to go with to fill out my skill positions. And it's always a guy that doesn't get a couple of guys that don't get drafted that just make or break the season. Don't know who that's going to be this year, but
yeah, there's always waiver wire guys. Just curious, is Shakir still out there? Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir.
What team does he play for?
Buffalo. Just curious.
What is he? Wide receiver? What is he?
Wido. Yeah, he's Wido.
Yeah, he's still there. He's
Good
still
player.
there.
He's one of my favorite. I watch a lot of Bills football. He's one of my favorite players on the team.
He's still there. What kind of year Josh Allen's gonna have?
Okay, so we're talking about yards. I'm thinking yards will be a little lower just because I worry about the receiver room a little bit. I still think he'll hit like 3,700 plus yards, 25 plus passing touchdowns, probably like 10 rushing touchdowns. So like 35 touchdowns and probably like 12 to 13, maybe 14 picks. He always throws a good amount of picks. So
yeah, I mean, you kind of accept it with him. Like he's gonna help you win the game. He doesn't really make you lose him that much either. Like he's a great quarterback talent. Like I like Josh Allen too. Like I just want him not to run as much anymore. I think I need him to stay in the pocket a little bit more now that he's getting a little bit older. I know he's not old, like 30s and like yet, but still like I want the league to basically have the quarterbacks playing every year. Like I don't like it to where when these quarterbacks
can you tell can you give Minnesota the notice on that? Because last 2 years have been not fun. They can get the memo that we want their quarterbacks to be playing.
Yeah, we want the quarterbacks.
It's crazy. I didn't think about it till a couple weeks ago, but like, and this is where I will defend Kevin. That was a little bit off topic, but I can't even properly evaluate the guy because he's got a new quarterback every year now. Because we were seeing it year 2 with Kirk Cousins. It was some damn fun football to watch. I know the fumbling, for love of God, the fumbling made me want to have nightmares. And I can only imagine you were a former running back. How the heck you felt about the running game?
Hold on to the ball. Yeah, number one job when you're running the ball is to hold on to the ball. Like, what are we doing? Like, are we not practicing that? Did you guys just forget the fundamentals?
Yeah, that's what was crazy to me. I have never seen a running back look that bad, that young in his career, like Alexander Madison. Like, I get it. Okay, the expectations were high. How on earth do you finish this season with 0 rushing touchdowns? How is that even possible as a running back in the modern era with the way they make defenses so much easier to play against? 0 rushing touchdowns. That's insane.
I like Alexander Madison is a solid running back when he's able to play the backup role. Some guys are just not starters. Some guys are backups, are situational running backs. And I think that's what Alexander Madison was. Yeah. And the Minnesota Vikings kind of shot themselves in the foot by thrusting him to the starting lineup just because every time your starter is out, he looks good. Like, like you knew the first 3 weeks of the season that he wasn't the guy that you thought he was.
Yep.
Like you knew that, but you did him a disservice by keeping him in there, throwing them out there. Like
again, to come to Kevin's defense a little bit. I'm not trying to be a homer. You know me. I'm very critical when criticism is needed. They did bring in Cam Akers, and I generally do think he was going to be the starter.
His job if he didn't blow his Achilles.
Yes, I think he was going to be the starter, and I think that's where they were heading. And I got to say, we all love the Josh Dobbs story, whatever.
I hated it.
Nobody gives Cam Akers his credit for that Atlanta comeback win. Because I remember that play. He smacked the living out of the guy on the focus for Josh Dobbs to break one of his runs. Man, I was having fun with Cam Akers at running back. I'm too bad we didn't bring him back. Like, again, with our running back room, it's crazy to me we let him go ahead to Houston.
So this is where we're going right now. So I am going to go with a Green Bay guy. I'm going to go with Marshawn Lloyd. because I don't think Josh Jacobs is good.
Oh, that's a bold take. Hey, not a fan of Josh Jacobs, eh? Really?
Nah, I don't like him. I don't like him at
Why
all.
is that?
I just he doesn't have the it factor for me. Like he's solid, but he just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
It's just something about him. Like I don't know. Like it just doesn't do it. So and he kind of was banged up for a little bit. So I'm banking on that I can get a couple of games out of Lloyd. But yeah, Addison's still out there. I might just take Addison as a depth guy on my team now because
hey, just use him as a trade chip, right? Maybe trade him early in the season. If he looks good, could potentially trade him for a running back. Could do that
and
too.
Jerry Judy's out here too.
Reclamation project
now though.
Watson is. Cool. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. I don't know if you ever watched Gridiron Heights. If you ever see what I'm talking about from Bleacher.
No, I've never seen it.
There was a thing. It's a little cartoon they do every week, and it's like a 2-minute short.
On
Bleacher Report. Yeah, and during his time in Denver with Russell Wilson, because the thing was Russell Wilson, let him cook whatever, and it was the Al Judy, and they burnt it. The Al Judy's going to burn in Cleveland too with Deshaun Watson. It's done. It's done. Watson's. Did you see the post by Amari Cooper when there was rumors that he'd be traded? Yeah, when there was rumors that he'd be traded to San Francisco, be like, I'm good with that. Like, and I watched the last Cleveland preseason game because obviously they were playing us, right?
Right.
And man, Amari Cooper, he looked like a deer in the headlights. He did not look like he wanted to be there. And can you blame him? Deshaun Watson might be a bottom 10 quarterback off of production the last 2 years.
How does that happen though?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
He's been hurt more than we know. I think that shoulder injury, that kind of stuff is really like it has to be some physical ability that he's not able to do anymore because like before all the allegations, he was a top quarterback.
Top 5 easily.
With bad receivers.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can't even name a receiver he had on that team when he was doing that on Houston. Who did he have?
D-Hop wasn't there anymore at the end, was he?
No, Hopkins was already in Arizona.
Yeah.
Like how do you fall?
I know.
That but maybe it's the 2 seasons that we're going. I remember like back in the day when I was playing football, and I have an older cousin, he played football too. And he will always say, like, you can't take years off because you lose that experience. And when you come back, you're still playing catch up. So even though you can come back, you're still playing catch up. And maybe he is just 2 years behind now. Like the league is already in 2024. He's still 2 years ago. And what he's doing now is like he didn't really get the reps for 2 seasons that he's still behind. Some guys too. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I also think it is somewhat too is with Watson. I just wonder, he could have the C on his jersey, but I'm sorry, with those allegations, I know he didn't, there was no jail time, whatever. But I'm sorry, teammates are not going to look at you the same. They're just not. They're not going to look at you the same as a leader. And I think that's weighed on him too. As he was the guy, the cool rock and roll guitar celebrations, getting behind his teammates and being a vocal leader. I'm sorry. I think that voice is not perceived the same way anymore in the locker room. I just think you lose respect. You do. If any other player did that, we'd say the same thing, right? Like it's a bad look. And I think part of it is his physical body itself, but I think it's mental too a little bit. I mean, because he was so good. He was so good. And it's one of the most significant falls from graces I've ever seen. Because he's still, is he even 30?
No.
Like that's what's crazy. When they acquired him, Cleveland, he was in the prime. He's thinking he's gonna be a Pro Bowler. He's gonna be an All-Pro again. He's gonna be the same guy. No. And it's not Kevin Stefanski's fault. Because we saw Joe Flacco. Like I just, it's crazy. I
I
don't
just
know.
think it's a lot. Just like you said, it's not just the physical ability, it's a lot of the mental aspect of it too. Like
Yeah.
his fall from grace is really like it's documentary worthy. Like they're probably going
Yeah.
to 20 years now, they're going to make a documentary about like what happened with Deshaun Watson in Houston. And I just feel like he shot himself in the foot.
Absolutely.
I feel like even though he didn't want to play for Houston, the best thing for him to do, even though he didn't want to play there, if you think about, I always look at timelines. The moment he
Hmm.
started like talking crazy about the team and he didn't want to be there anymore, then the
Hmm.
allegations came out. I'm not saying that Houston was going to cover it up because he was a starting quarterback, but it kind of like it shines a different light on him being like a quote unquote selfish player. Like I
Yeah.
believe this. I know I will never be in the NFL and make those $100 million contracts. If you don't want to be
Hmm.
there, don't sign an extension. Like
Yeah.
that's your only bargaining chip that you have is to say, I want this team to be competitive. I'm not going to sign until you show me that you can be competitive. They put the
Yeah.
money in front of him. He put pen to paper and signed it. So Houston's end is like, you said you were all in because you signed the contract, but now you don't want to
Hmm.
play.
No,
You know,
I completely agree.
like that's the part that started to get me like, what's wrong with this dude? Like, you could have
Yeah.
just went to free agency if you wanted to. You would have been the first one of the quarterbacks to say, "Oh, I got drafted by a team. I'm not re-signing with them. They can franchise me all they want." And then
Hmm.
you put it on them to have to
Yeah.
get you away because they
Yeah.
can't afford it. You know, but
Or you do the Kirk Cousins, right? You play on the take and let it play itself out. I agree. Yeah.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
you go to the
Yeah.
team where you want to go. And I think
Yes. Yeah.
like if he would have, sometimes it's the people around you that
Yeah.
give you the worst advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I'm around him, his agent, I'm like, hey, dude, if you don't want to be here, don't sign this contract.
No.
They need
No.
you. They gonna do what they're gonna do with you. They're gonna franchise you. They can only franchise you for 2 years. But
Yeah.
once you sign here,
Realistically, yeah, because then the money gets insane.
it's crazy.
Yeah. You're not gonna
So
have an $80 million cap hit or something stupid like
yeah,
that.
you're
No.
not gonna do that. And I just
No.
think he made that mistake by signing the contract when he really didn't want to be there.
Yeah. That's part of it too. Um, it's a
And
great
then
point. Like I
he
said,
became
the
a
Watson thing, the Watson, like you said, the Watson career fall off. It will be a documentary someday.
and we
It really will
documented it.
because if he doesn't rebound, it's insane.
I
Because
think he's in the
we've
wrong spot
seen.
too.
I it may be. I I I don't want to say that Cleveland's a horrible fit because they have a lot of good things there,
They
but
do.
it's it's sometimes it really is schematic. Like sometimes a guy just does not fit a system. Maybe that's what it is too a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll say this to you. If something crazy happens in 3 years and Deshaun Watson's, wants to become the next Randall Cunningham on a, $1 million contract, I'm
Take
kidding. That'd be the most Vikings thing ever. Is Kevin O'Connell stays around. They sign Watson on a 1-year deal for like $5 million. He's the next Case Keenum, and then I kid. I really hope JJ McCarthy's good. I'm trying to be positive, make jokes
with the
you
contract
know,
for Deshaun Watson, when can they get out of it? They
oh
can't,
God,
right?
I
Because it's
no
fully
no. That's why I said 3 years because that thing is aging like milk. It's bad.
guaranteed.
It's real bad. I think right now, like I'm not kidding, he's got like a $64 million cap hit coming up like soon.
64?
Something stupid like that, like 58, 60. It's a high number. It's a high number. Oh yeah.
Crazy.
And it's all like guaranteed. I think that's part of it too,
Yeah.
is he's got nothing to play. Like um he's got no reason to perform. Like it's all guaranteed. Like and maybe he just isn't properly giving his time and effort. I don't know. We'll see.
It's
This
tough.
year is it. This is the year for him to turn around because if it doesn't happen now, it's not happening.
Yeah, it's something we're not talking about. It's something. It has to be.
Yeah. There's got to be more to it than we know.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
got to be.
Because he
And
was
obviously
like you said, he just was too good.
that's why it's crazy to me. I remember when Watson was available, I said, I want this guy. Goodbye, Kirk Cousins. See ya. Deshaun Watson on
Traded.
this
I
team will
was
be
like,
perfect.
trade it all.
Yeah. And then it just, he's irrelevant now. Like, let's be real. If we're doing a tier list, he's damn near the bottom.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's got to be, barely top 20.
Here we go. We on the clock. I already know I'm going. It's Addison. It's about depth. Like
How on earth is he still there?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
That's
He
all.
has
It's
two
Sam
good
Darnold.
games. If he has two really good games, so high. Because with Sam
Yeah.
Darnold, so high. I kid. But that is crazy. What pick is this? That's
This is
crazy. Pick one. What was it? Pick 154.
yeah.
Took him.
54.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's only like 2 rounds left. He could have went undrafted.
that's wild. That's actually
So
insane.
the receiving group is just looking nice. Like
Yeah, you're gonna be. I'm assuming you're gonna be playing 3 receivers every week.
every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every week. Every
Yeah.
week. Every week.
Matchup-based running back after Stevenson, and we're all good. We're all good.
Every week. I'm trying to see what the next running back to get. Miles Sanders, I had that guy last year. He stunk it up.
You know who I like is at this late. If you're taking flyers, I like the handcuff here with Antonio Gibson. Personally,
Antonio.
I like the handcuff there with Antonio Gibson.
Put him in the queue.
I think because in case Stevenson gets hurt, he is their starting running, and he's a good running back. He showed it, for years in Washington. He's a solid runner. He's fine. I take him in Minnesota right now.
I would too.
I would.
So
And again, go ahead.
no, go ahead because I got a big question for you.
Okay, no, I was going to say quickly, Dalvin Cook, would you bring him back? I'm not even trolling.
Yes. Yes.
I would too. I would too.
I just because the thing about it is that see, without even you saying it, I understand why you say bring him back. We know what he is and we know what he's not. We're not asking Dalvin Cook to be Dalvin Cook from 5-6 years ago.
No.
We need a backup running back to come in, pass block, and do all the dirty things that running back do.
That's right.
He wasn't the greatest pass blocker, but he was solid.
He looks like Jerome Bettis compared to our guys.
I say I wouldn't do it. But Aaron Jones would have to give his number up.
Oh my God. I didn't realize that. Is 3 available though? Is Aaron Jones wearing 3?
That's Addison. Addison's 3.
Well, you know what? Have good PR, Jordan. Have good PR, Change the narrative. Give up number 3 for a year. Oh God. Or was it 4? Was it 3 or 4 that Cook wore? Was it 4? Or was it 3?
Wore 4.
He wore 4. Available? Who the heck's wearing 4 on our team? Is anyone wearing 4?
I don't think nobody has 4.
There you go. Easy sell. There you go. Right in, right back like you never left.
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious. And you talked to me during the time we cut Delvin. I was so done with him. But you know what they say? You don't know what you've lost until it's gone.
It's gone.
Oh, I know what it's gone. I know what's gone now. Because my God, I did not appreciate the dirty work of Dalvin Cook enough, clearly. Because my God, we have nobody at running back that can pass block past Aaron Jones that I actually trust.
So the big question I'm going to ask is this: when do you think Kevin O'Connell and KOC get their respective extensions?
Oh, Kwesi and KOC, you mean?
Huh? Both of them.
And KOC?
And KOC.
Yeah.
How long is it going to be? And the big question is, who gets it first?
That is a good question. I'm going to do my best not to fence sit here. I don't think it happens until next offseason, at the very least. Kevin will get it first, but Quessy will be damn near the same time.
So, but how would that look though? Like the GM signs
Mm-hmm.
the GM and management. I'm gonna say the GM and management. The GM
Sure.
and management resigns the coach,
Mm-hmm.
but the GM has to wait.
If it might end up being the same day, but regardless, I think they will be together, or they'll be fired together. If you know what I mean, because they're collaborated the whole way, which is a
Right.
good thing. And don't get me wrong, I feel kind of bad for them because they've had a lot of bad luck. You know, there's nothing you can do about losing a quarterback back-to-back years. There's nothing you
No.
can do about that. And we saw Kevin was doing great work with JJ McCarthy. I mean, if you look at OTA reports to training camp, I mean, it's night and day. And that's on Kevin. As much as I credit
Yeah.
JJ, hard worker, smart kid, that's on Kevin. Kevin worked to help him with the footwork, mechanics, throwing to the left, all that stuff.
Right.
He's came a long way. It sucks that he has the torn meniscus and he's gonna miss the season, but I think they're both gonna get extended either the exact same day or relatively close to each other because of collaboration.
Okay.
And for term, I think you asked me for term. I say no more than 2 to 3 year extensions.
Yeah. 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 Because you gotta. I think it's going to mirror the window you have with McCarthy, especially for
Yes.
O'Connell. I think O'Connell's going to be mirrored because JJ will have 4 years left on this deal, and you want to at least make a run while he's on his rookie deal. So you want to lock his lock him up. I just feel like, just like you said, you're right. Either they have the press conference together where they both sign it.
Mm-hmm.
It got to be Quasi first. Quasi has to go face the GM. Like the coach can't get it first. Like he has to get it first because that means not just Quasi, but leadership in the organization believe in O'Connell. And it's just like, but what about me? I'm the guy building this team too, you know?
Yeah. the reason I said the things I said about Kevin getting it first is, I mean, look, I know it's not fair, and people say it's too. Well, it is somewhat fair, but people say it's 2 years ago. Blah blah blah. That draft was awful. That 2022 class, as of today, things could change. Maybe Jalen Naylor becomes a fantastic elite wide receiver 3, and maybe Lewisine somehow has a greatest reclamation, project turnaround in NFL history, and becomes this, really good safety. But man, if that doesn't happen, and I don't think it's going to, this is the worst draft class of Vikings history. Like it just is. Like Ed Ingram should not start this season. He should not. I think they're going to force him. I just can't pass.
I like it.
What I like is that at least he's an actual guard. I like that he's not, a converted tackle.
The pass blocking ability, he still isn't there yet. But he's only in his third year, though. He could make he made strides last year.
He grades so poorly every year in pass. Like I know it's preseason, but he's playing against the 2s of the Browns, and he got cooked. Like he got legit cooked.
Yeah, he gave.
Like
I'm just trying to believe in the guy.
I get it. The one guy that I still have some hope for is Jalen Naylor, because he's been hurt.
He's healthy.
He's healthy now, right? So hopefully this is the year he has an 800, 900-yard year.
Quick question about Naylor, right?
Yeah.
So considering what KJ Osborne signed with New England, would you would have just signed KJ Osborne back and just been the 3?
No.
So you're okay
with
Naylor? Okay.
I think Naylor and Tristan Jackson are better than KJ Osborne.
Okay.
You know how you said that earlier? Everyone opposite Harrison Smith looks good. I think everybody opposite Justin Jefferson looks quite good.
Looks good. Yeah, looks the part.
Well, because KJ, I mean, and again, great guy. It was awesome. He saved a guy from a burning car. What a fantastic, heroic thing for him to do. But on the field, he left a lot to be desired. Because
Yeah.
every time we needed him to be wide receiver 2, he was awful. Like he just
Stonehenge.
was. Yeah.
So,
I remember that game
and
against
the
Go ahead.
game against the New York Giants, third down, he drops the first down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little behind him, but he could have caught that ball.
That's
very true.
If it hits your hands, you got to catch it.
When it hit both his hands, it wasn't like it nicked off him. Kirk said, I didn't throw the best. KJ could have caught that. He could have. And, that's a very good point. Like I said,
yeah,
a lot of people like to give KJ credit because catch against Carolina and made a few the play against Indy where he helped bring us back. If you look at when KJ Osborne 90% of the time has big plays, it's in garbage time, or it was in the middle of the game when the game was not on the line and he was helping extend the drive. It was not clutch situations regularly. Here and there it was. Most of the time it wasn't. And again, he caught a game-winning touchdown overtime against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina
Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers, who have been crap, who had Sam Darnold at quarterback that day. How the world comes around.
Oh, man, now he's our quarterback. Yeah.
And what did we say then? Sam Darnold's doing this to us? For the love of God. And we had to win in overtime. What did we all say that season? That defense sucked. For the Vikings. KJ, I'm sorry. Decent player. He's going to have, I'm going to sit here and say to you right now, he will have less than 500 yards receiving to it. Less than 500. Wow. He will get beaten out by Polk and other guys on that team. He will not. He'll be wide receiver 3 by the
that team now. Is the projected number 1 receiver for the New England Patriots is KJ Osborne now? Because Juju's not there.
On paper, I think it is, but he will not. I think as of today, it is. But based off the preseason, he's done nothing. And again, I know it's preseason, but it does have some merit. It does have some merit. I think he's going to get beaten out.
Well, maybe your guys should make him look good. Your guy Drake.
I hope. Well, actually, I don't. I don't care about Drake May anymore. As far as I could throw him, he's not on our team. But in all seriousness, he will look. He will make players look better. KJ, he just doesn't have anything that stands out. He doesn't have explosive speed. He doesn't have really good feet. He doesn't have really good hands.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have the it factor, and he'll get beaten out. He'll be wide receiver 3 with less than 500 yards by the end of the year. And everyone, what happened to KJ Osborne? That's what everyone will be saying. Just like they did a year ago when I said Dalvin Cook's not the same player. And man, that tells you so much about our running back room that I still criticize Dalvin, yet I want him back because how bad our running back room is. But he had that awful year in New York. And KJ will do the same thing. He will look like a complete shell of himself.
All right. Back on the board. We just going tight end.
Who we take, Brock, or who'd you take, Brock Bowers?
I took Michael Mayer.
Okay. The other tight end in Las Vegas.
Yeah, the other tight end.
Not bad. That's fine. When you have Kelsey, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hope he's healthy the whole year.
Yeah. Well, what do you have the Vikings win total as of right now? Like, if the season was to start tomorrow and you had to put a win total on it before the season started, what would you say?
8-9. 8-9, 9-8. Any way it goes.
Wow. I really am sticking with my. I'm going to stick with my Debbie Downer. I'm going 4-13.
Leslie Frazier season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
Hey, we need a star corner. We need a star corner, star defense tackle. You're guaranteed one of them with picking in the top 5. I've said it for weeks.
You're guaranteed one there.
Yes. We will be hosting Hard Knocks next summer.
You think so?
Yeah. We're going to be forced into it. They're going to force us into it because we would have missed the playoffs back-to-back years. There won't be a regime change at head coach or GM. They will force us into hard knocks next summer. And I don't like that. But
I wanted Zimmer to be on Hard Knocks. Yeah, I don't want us to do Hard Knocks. Which one though? Hard Knocks?
Pardon?
Because isn't it 2 different Hard Knocks now?
We'll be on the off season. We'll be on the off season one.
Okay.
Well, it's easy, right? The story writes itself. JJ, I can see it now. JJ McCarthy coming back from the torn meniscus. Well, heading into year 2. Justin Jefferson, the star of the game. You know what I'm saying. I was trying to be funny with the voice there, but it's easy. It's easy to. That's a really good value taking. Did you take the Eagles? Was that you?
Yeah, I took the Eagles.
Oh, that's good value this late in the draft. But
my last pick too.
Yeah, that's good defense to get.
So this is how the team runs out. Quarterback. This is not the starters because Kirk could probably start for me. Jaden Daniels, Ramondre Peterson, Nick Chubb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Travis Kelce, Drake London, Jets defense, Kai Formuth, not Kai Formuth, Kai
Farber. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins on the bench. This guy I drafted by accident.
Zach Charbonnet,
Jordan Addison, Antonio Gibson, Michael Mayer, and Eagles. That's solid. Some of these guys are probably cut, but
yeah, and that's the thing. A 12-team league, right? There's going to be guys that don't survive the season. Several guys. So that's a good team, though.
It's straight. Let me get this out of here. Booyah. Yeah, I'm done. Well, thanks for drafting with me, Mike. Getting late over here. Finna lay on down. But thanks. Appreciate it, man. Thanks to everybody for watching.
No worries.
Yeah. Next time, we do it on your channel. Or, you got something coming up, just let me know.
Sure.
So,
absolutely.
Everybody out there, got a Viking game tomorrow. Tune in. It's a lot of players that's going to be trying to make the roster. So, you got anything you want to say, Mike, where to get guys to follow you at?
Yeah. Follow me at Mike Castellino on Twitter. I'm not going to lie, people. If you follow me, you're going to get positives and negatives. I am not, if you're looking for quirky color positivity, the what's it called? The rice color glass or rose color glass. It's not me. Yeah, but appreciate that. Rainbow. Yeah, I'm not sunshine and rainbows. And also, follow the purple code. Me and Rick Sosa every week will be recording Tuesday nights on the Vikings. And again, as I said earlier, if you're looking for positivity, we're probably not the show for you. But if you want week to week actual breakdowns of the team, check us out the purple code.
Yeah. And it's good for balance too, because some of the stuff is just homers just not knowing football, not saying anything, and we need guys to keep it real. And sometimes keeping it real, you're not gonna agree with it, and it's gonna hurt your feelings. But
that's right.
It is what it is. If you don't like it, keep scrolling.
That's right. That's right. And that's why, I'm happy to talk to you, Skull State of Mind. Me and you can have those, conversations.
Conversations, disagreements.
Yesterday was Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson. It'll be something else mid-season. And that's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. I find too much in this world. We can't have a conversation anymore. It's okay to agree to disagree and have a normal conversation with a person. It's okay.
It's okay.
You can do that.
And the thing about it too, though, if everyone's watching this, if you disagree with somebody and you get information that you didn't have before, it's okay to change your opinion.
That's right.
It's okay. It's okay if someone enlighten you or something you never thought about. It's okay to say, "Hey, I didn't think about it that way. I see where you're coming from now." That's what this is. That's what this is. So
you got me several times today.
Here, so skull, everybody.
Skull.